So I want you to start by just picturing your normal, everyday dinner plate tonight. Maybe you're having some grilled chicken, a beef steak, or perhaps a nice piece of fish. You probably never even think twice about any of it, right? It's just normal food, everyday food. But get this. Somewhere on this planet right now, a farmer is raising literally thousands of animals for meat that will probably never, ever touch your plate.
Which begs the question, why is one of the absolute healthiest meats on Earth completely missing from your grocery store? Let's just dive right into this paradox. Millions of these specific animals are raised in captivity every single year, and the crazy part, their meat is ridiculously nutritious, yet it is entirely missing from Western diets. I'm talking, of course, about crocodiles. Now, most people just assume they aren't on the menu because they're way too dangerous to farm, but actually, scratch that, it's not quite right. Millions of them are successfully raised globally, so why aren't we eating them?
If we compare crocodile meat with your everyday meat, crocodile is lean, very high protein, low fat, and yep, it actually tastes like chicken. Meanwhile, everyday meat like beef has less protein and chicken has higher fat. Honestly, this completely shatters our basic assumptions about the meat itself. You probably imagine crocodile meat to be, super tough, strange, or extremely gamey. But people who eat it swear it tastes a lot like chicken, and maybe a little bit like fish. It's incredibly lean. It literally packs significantly more protein than your average cut of beef, and it's lower in fat than chicken. In fact, nutritionists in some countries actually call it one of the healthiest meats on Earth. No joke.
Let's trace the history of crocodile consumption. Thousands of years ago, ancient Egyptians worshipped and ate them. Centuries ago, Aboriginal Australians hunted them for survival. And in the modern day, they're farmed by the millions globally. See, eating crocodile isn't some weird brand new concept. Thousands of years ago, ancient Egyptians lived right alongside the Nile crocodile. Sure, they worshipped it, but they also hunted and ate it. Centuries ago, Aboriginal communities in northern Australia hunted crocodiles long before Europeans ever showed up. It wasn't exotic to them, it was just survival. And today, farmed by the millions. Clearly, this aversion you might feel to eating a crocodile isn't ancient, and it definitely isn't universal. It is entirely cultural.
And a huge part of where that culture came from lies in early religious dietary laws, which quietly filtered reptiles right off the menu for massive populations. For example, in Judaism, kashrut requires water-dwelling creatures to have fins and scales, so crocodile was never an option. In Islam, it's been debated by scholars, and that ambiguity basically led to widespread avoidance. A crocodile obviously has no fins or scales, right? So it was never kosher. And in Islam, that scholarly debate meant that if a food might be forbidden, well, most people simply avoided it for centuries, just to be safe.
But is religion the whole story behind your disgust? If I put a beautifully seared crocodile steak in front of you right now, you would probably still flinch, even if you don't personally follow those specific dietary laws. To understand why, we have to look a lot deeper than just historical texts. We need to look at something much older, running quietly underneath our conscious thoughts, deeply wired into your own subconscious evolutionary psychology. Think about the animals we humans traditionally eat the most: cows, chickens, pigs, sheep. What do they have in common? They're prey animals. They sit safely lower on the food chain than us. But a crocodile? That is an absolute apex predator that can kill you in seconds. For most of human history, they hunted us. Our brains carry this very old, very deep survival script. Eat what's below you, fear what's above you. The idea of eating a predator that actively wants to eat you just feels profoundly wrong.
And the crucial point here is that this isn't just ancient history about cavemen avoiding river monsters. Right now, today, in parts of Africa, Nile crocodiles are still responsible for hundreds of human deaths every single year. Hundreds! These aren't just freak accidents or rare encounters. We are talking about a highly effective, literal killing machine that has hunted humans consistently for as long as we've lived near rivers.
This persistent danger explains exactly why your gut reaction to a crocodile has absolutely nothing to do with its taste. Psychologists call this a threat-based disgust response. Basically, it's an automatic reaction where your brain flags an animal as dangerous long before you even consciously process what you're looking at. Your gut doesn't think about nutrition first, it processes the threat first. So when you see a croc, your brain is essentially yanking an ancient fire alarm to keep you alive. Because a threat to your instincts is never food, it's something to run from.
Let's contrast familiar prey with an alien predator. A cow is familiar, warm-blooded, and has relatable eyes. A crocodile is alien, cold-blooded, and has this terrifying stillness. Just contrast these two in your mind. A cow just feels familiar to us, right? It's warm-blooded, you can look into its eyes and sense something almost relatable. But a crocodile, completely alien. It's cold-blooded, it has this completely unreadable, cold, absolutely terrifying stillness right before it strikes. You look into a dog's or a cow's eyes and you sense a connection. Look into a crocodile's cold eyes and there is absolutely nothing looking back that feels like you. No warmth, just stillness.
In fact, researchers have found that animals resembling reptiles trigger a completely different kind of aversion in us than mammals do. It's an aversion that actually sits much closer to a fear of contamination and disease. It's that exact same deeply rooted ick feeling you get when you are near something fundamentally unclean. To our mammalian brains, reptiles just feel dirty to consume.
But we also have to consider the modern economic reality: efficiency versus luxury. Cows and chickens are bred purely for fast meat efficiency, while crocodiles are farmed slowly for high-end luxury leather. See, practicality ultimately sealed the deal here. Cows and chickens graze in open fields or grow incredibly fast. We bred them for centuries purely to make meat efficiently. But crocodiles are a totally different ballgame. They are farmed almost entirely for high-end luxury leather. We're talking designer handbags, belts, boots. That is the real business. Capitalism didn't force crocodile onto our dinner plates because the massive money is in the leather, not the meat.
Because of that, crocodile meat is really just a byproduct. It's often discarded entirely or sold very cheaply. Processing a highly dangerous animal with an incredibly thick armored hide is painfully slow and difficult. Butchering one takes way more skill and time than a chicken ever will. So when an entire global industry is already built around luxury leather, the meat just becomes this cheap afterthought.
Which leads us to a fundamental truth of economics and human behavior. You can't crave what you've never been offered. Demand needs familiarity, and familiarity requires exposure. Think about it. If crocodile meat had just been fed to you as a little kid, exactly the same way chicken nuggets were, none of this disgust would even exist today. You just call it dinner. The disgust you're feeling isn't actually in the meat itself, it is entirely in the story you were never told.
Because almost nobody in the West realizes how normal this actually is elsewhere. Let's look at where it's on the menu right now. In Australia, it's a tourist novelty dish. In Zimbabwe and South Africa, it's sold in local markets. Thailand has it grilled and as jerky. In Vietnam and Cambodia, it's a growing industry. And in the southern US, alligator is used in Cajun cooking. People across the globe are eating it right now. Over in Thailand, you can easily find it grilled, stir-fried, even turned into jerky. And right in the southern US, alligator, which is obviously a very close cousin, is a totally normal, everyday staple in Cajun cooking. Honestly, to them, your reaction of disgust would be the weird one.
So let's recap the filters your food passes through. Step 1, your ancient evolutionary fear of predators. Step 2, thousands of years of religious laws. And Step 3, your cultural and geographic familiarity. The seemingly simple choice of what you decide to eat tonight has actually passed through 3 massive filters that you never even chose. First, that ancient evolutionary fear. Second, thousands of years of religious dietary laws written way before you were born. And third, your cultural familiarity, which is based purely on whatever your parents just happen to cook. The border around your dinner plate was drawn by geography, religion, and fear, not biology.
Why does any of this actually matter to you? Well, because your diet feels profoundly personal, doesn't it? It feels like pure taste, pure autonomous choice. But almost nothing on it got there by accident. You didn't decide crocodile was off the menu. That decision was made for you generations ago by people who never even met you, and you just absorbed it without ever questioning it. So I challenge you. The next time something feels instinctively, obviously disgusting, just pause for a second. Ask yourself where that feeling actually came from. Because somewhere on Earth right now, someone is casually eating what absolutely horrifies you. And somewhere else, someone is absolutely horrified by what is sitting on your plate tonight. The truth is, neither of you is wrong. You're both just running old code you never wrote. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. I really hope you learned something fascinating today.